Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to have today Catherine Varga here with us. She is a spiritual healer, teacher, and speaker specializing in sound healing using the modality of sound Reiki, which she co-created. Really excited to have her here. She's actually one of my great teachers and healers that I go to. Love spending time with Catherine. Her energy is amazing. And one thing I also want to show you here is a book that she wrote, which I absolutely love, The Soulchild Within. It's for anyone of all ages, but I really want to give a shout out to the parents out there just to give you an idea of what stage of development your child is actually going through. So I really kind of wanted to give a bit of a shout out for the parents as well. Catherine, can you please share a little bit about your awesome book?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you so much. It's so great to see you. The Soulchild Within is something that I had created as a result of the practice. I have a healing practice and working with people, we're working with energy and balancing energy, but really getting to the root of it was about limiting beliefs. So this book came out of the idea of how can I swiftly and quickly get to the root of limiting beliefs with somebody within like a matter of minutes. And to be able to identify where the limiting belief happened in the past, in their childhood, that is affecting them directly today. The most important thing is making change and healing in the present. So that's why this book really talks about a new and creative way of identifying what is the life skill that has been affected, and also in what year and what was the cause of it, so that you can start to move into that place of forgiveness and let limiting beliefs be something, a belief of the past.
Perfect, thank you. And what I'll do is I'll add a link on where you can purchase the book at the bottom of the video as well for anyone that would be interested in finding this book. Thank you. So now let's get on to sound Reiki, which I absolutely love. So if you can explain to us, what is sound Reiki and how does it compare to traditional Reiki?
Sure. Sound Reiki is actually a modality that allows you to move energy through electromagnetic frequency that is used with the voice. So we actually move energy through the voice. And like with traditional Reiki, the divine universal energy that's coming through that we work with our hands, that are channeled through our hands, and working with symbols, we actually replace that with sound Reiki to use tones, and those tones are guided by intention. So no hands, but we are using our voice that activates sound and light codes that we're naturally programmed with.
That's awesome. And actually what's great about it too is you don't have to bring anything with you.
That's right. You can just take it anywhere. And the cool thing about working with sound is that you can do it remotely. It transcends time and space. You know, oftentimes we're looking at sending prayers of intention and moving that prayer rapidly, instantly at a quantum level with sound, you know, across the world, or with people that we don't have in front of us. So we don't even have to have people in front of us, and they feel this incredible vibrational frequency that is coming from the intention and the prayer. So I think it's really so powerful, and I haven't come across for me anything that has been able to move energy so quickly and so with such focus.
Oh, definitely. Even I came from the traditional Reiki background, and after doing sound Reiki, it's like, oh my God, what takes me about an hour or so of traditional Reiki, I can do in like 5-10 minutes in sound Reiki. Like it's just like incredible how much quicker, combining the sound and then with the intention and everything, it just moves so much quicker. Like it's just, I mean, I'm amazed at the difference between how much faster it actually takes with sound Reiki. So that I'm amazed by. Okay, so another question for you is, what is vibration and frequency and why is it important?
Oh, okay. So vibration, for example, if you think of everything basically in the universe, whether it's a rock or whether it's you and I, everything has a vibration to it. So in other words, it has a movement to it. And things that are more dense in vibration have a lower vibrational frequency. And frequency is how fast something moves. So here we have vibration that's moving, and then we have the frequency that talks about how fast or how slow it moves. And the faster that vibrational frequency moves, the higher it is, and the higher it goes. And the thing that dictates how high or low vibrational frequency goes with us personally is really related to our feelings. But when we take a look, for example, at the chair you're sitting on, it also is vibrating. Everything in the world, everything in the universe vibrates at something. The denser it is, the slower the vibration it is. So anything that is lighter, when we start to move into emotions, for example, vibrational frequency is directed on how we feel. And how we feel is really directed by how we think and what we believe. So when we take a look at vibration and frequency, our own personal vibration and frequency, well, vibration and energy is magnetic. So it is magnetic in terms of like attracting like. So when we take a look at something that's vibrating and the frequency that it's vibrating at, it will attract in the world of energy exactly the same. So we have a certain vibrational frequency. Love has a vibrational frequency. Fear has a vibrational frequency. And we can guess which one is high and which one is low. So in the world of energy, in my world of energy anyway, I only look at two types of energy, positive and negative. We can call it high and low vibration, but ultimately it's positive and negative energy. And those energies are directed by how we think and we feel. So what calibrates how high or low our vibration is how we think and feel. So when we're happy and we are in love and we go in for that hug with that person that we're, adoring, in that moment when we're in like, oh, I love you, this is so great, it feels so good. And you know what that vibration feels like, right? It feels great. And we have, I hope all of us experience that. But in that moment, when we're in that hug, there is no disease that could ever enter into that sacred space, because high and low vibrational frequency cannot be in the same place at the same time any more than you can be happy and sad at the same time. We are always consciously and unconsciously picking one of those. So when we have a high vibrational frequency, that means that we're happy people. When we're able to maintain that vibrational frequency through how we think and feel, all of a sudden, we're going to be magnetically attracting experiences that will reinforce that high vibration. So in the world of energy, like attracts like. Believe it or not, opposites do not attract. You're not going to get a happy person who's very positive and confident with somebody who is the polar opposite, somebody who is depressed, who's unhappy. Because one's at a high vibration, love. The other one is at a low vibration, which is sadness, and the opposite of love, or the absence of love, which would be fear or anger or any of those feelings that come from those two root emotions. And they can't be at the same place. So somebody has to give. So have you ever been in a conversation with somebody who likes to control things, for example, and are angry, and we want to send them love, but man, they sometimes can suck us in. So when somebody's saying, hey, I'm, really upset with you, you said this, and you're, no, I didn't, you're just upset, this is, you just let it go, it's okay. They go, well, you're really bothering me, you really say this, and you're going, no, I don't, you're always saying this to me. Yeah, you're always bothering me, you're always saying these things, and you're always so negative. You know what, I never do that. And now all of a sudden, we are magnetically, it's almost like an attraction that we almost can't resist in some way. But when we are at the same vibrational frequency, for example, if somebody, we allow ourselves to be affected by somebody who's doing that, then all of a sudden we're at that low vibration and we're sort of stuck there. And the people that we attract will be more at that vibration, and the experiences will also be related to fear or anger. So vibrational frequency is really important because it will attract the experiences that match that frequency.
So I guess it'd be very important to be someone that can maintain that high level regardless of who you're around, because at the end of the day, we can't avoid all of these people down here.
That's right.
When you're in this space, it's just not going to work. How do you even, make sure to kind of stay up here?
Absolutely. It's a great question. And how we stay up here is based on our core beliefs. It is starting to look at, okay, what is it that makes us happy? For me, our main purpose, the best thing in terms of an expression of self-love and self-respect, is honoring ourselves by being happy. And one of the biggest and most important things that I learned way back when I started this, that really changed my way of looking at things, is that happiness is more of a decision that we make. It's more of a choice. It's not something that happens to you. Happy people out there are people who are happy anyway. They look at the positive side of things. They keep their vibration high, and it's rooted in a core belief that they feel like they're enough, that they feel like they're not in competition, that there's enough for everybody, that they have a core belief and a personal power and confidence that aligns them to be in a space of joy, and that when things do happen that aren't very happy or disappointing or challenging or shocking even sometimes, this is a person who would, for example, based on their core beliefs, say, you know what, this hurts, ow, yeah, and I'm upset, and this, I'm going to acknowledge that, and I'm going to allow that, but I'm not going to live there. I'm going to bounce into saying, okay, I believe that, good things happen to me. I believe I'm a lucky person. I've been blessed in many ways. So if I believe that to be true, then this thing that's happening to me, that's, disappointing me, shocking me, upsetting me, feeling all different kinds of emotions, fear, anxiousness, low self-esteem, is something that is teaching me something that I need. Why? My big question is, why is it that I'm attracting this? What is it about the way I think and feel that is attracting this to me? So for me, the goal would be to really take a look at things as more lessons and not weapons, as to say, here's reinforcing I'm not good enough, and here's, this is what I always attract. I always attract these people. I always attract these experiences. Absolutely right. But the thing is, you have the power to control that. And when you do have things happening, it's about taking a higher perspective. Again, believing in the fact that good things do happen to you, and that you live in a universe that supports you, that we live in a universe that supports us, which is absolutely true. All prayers are answered. And when we can take something and start to look at it from a higher perspective, to say that, yeah, this thing happened, but there must be something, a bigger picture. There must be something that I'm not aware of right now that will start to reveal itself, because I believe that good things happen to me, and I may not see it now, but I know something better must be coming. There must be something I was stubborn about that I couldn't release, like, a job or a relationship, and finally it blew up in my face. Well, the moral of the story is there were signs there ahead of time. I should have, taken a stage left out of there a long time, but I didn't, because the limiting beliefs kept me there. No, I need to stick it out. And, but when we start to let all that go, and we start to take a higher perspective, we're resonating to a higher vibration. We are in a place of love, self-love. And when we're in that space, then we can give it to other people. We can't give from an empty cup. So it's really important that we're able to manage, not avoid challenges in life, but to be able to have a perspective that keeps it at a high vibration, looking through the eyes of love and compassion. And that will then attract more things that are loving and support that compassion.
Yeah, and I find that by looking at it looking at situations from a place of what belief system do I have that is attracting, these types of situations, that the situations kind of don't last as long, the upset doesn't last as long, the disappointment, the anger, the emotions that kind of go with situations. It's like you start to get past them faster.
Yeah.
Being stuck in that that circle, in that hamster wheel, and just, being married to your belief systems, married to your point of view, married to the old. By kind of opening up to changing perspectives and things like that, things kind of flow faster out of your space and out of your,
Absolutely right. And it's true. You're able to cope with things faster. You look at things from a higher perspective. I think that it's really important when we start to look at things from a higher perspective. And the most important thing is, we're willing to see things differently. Change can only happen when we're willing to see things differently. And when we start to have these situations that are happening to us, we can look at them to say, wow, this is a mirror of how I'm feeling about myself. Because that's the other thing about vibration and frequency. The relationships and circumstances that we have are things that are mirroring how ultimately we feel about ourselves. And so when we believe that and we can understand that, then, as you said quite rightly, we can go into more of a self-diagnostic focus or process that is allowing us to let go of the attachment to the habit of how we automatically react to situations that has been cultivated for years.
Yes, thank you for that. So going back for the viewers, let's see what else I have here. In Sound Reiki, how do you use sound of your voice to clear energy and facilitate healing? Do you need to know how to sing or have a music background in order to do this?
Well, that's a great question because, this is the thing I always share with other people because I am not a singer. My colleague Heather Hen and I developed this program. Neither one of us are singers. We don't have any singing background. And, and because of that, it took a while to, sort of sometimes, get used to the fact that we're not singing here. We're actually projecting tones. And these tones that we are naturally programmed with are really incredible. So how we move sound with sound Reiki is, as we talked about, through the sound of the voice. But the voice is guided by an intention. So I believe that everything in the universe is moving, and we do things intentionally or unconsciously. So everything, we live in an intentional universe, in other words. So nothing happens without intention. The question is, are we doing it consciously or unconsciously? But the universe is an ordered place. Nothing is happening randomly. So when we take a look at sound, we are naturally actually divinely programmed with sound and light codes. So when we state an intention, a prayer of intention is like a prayer. But what it is directing the sound where we want it to go. When we see where we want the healing to happen, we take a prayer of intention, which directs what we want the energy to do and what is the outcome that we're looking for. Based on stating that prayer of intention, all of a sudden, very organically, I like to promote people just to bring the voice, and whatever sound comes up after that prayer of intention is actually the healing tone that is appropriate for whatever application it's in alignment to. So we always start with a prayer of intention, and we connect with source, and source is my name for God. And because we work with people with so many different backgrounds, and we know that the healing is coming from source, coming from God, which is in alignment to my belief system, but we call it source so that everybody can use that term for that which they pray to, which is with doing the healing. So we connect with source, who is doing the healing, and through that prayer of intention, the energy through the sound and light codes we're naturally programmed to are activated. And they're activated not only in me as the person who's projecting those tones, but they're also activated in the person who's receiving them. And the interesting thing about the tones that I've discovered through all the years I've been doing this is that it has nothing to do with how you think you sound. It's really important to get out of your head and just allow the tones to organically come out, because the person who's hearing them is not hearing what you're hearing. What they're hearing is that they're being activated to hear in order for this energy, which is attuned to them because the prayer is for them, for example, if you're doing a healing on someone else. And the amazing thing that happens is as soon as they hear the tones that you're saying, or that I'm saying, or anybody who's doing this, because everybody can do this. You do not need to have a singing background. You do not need to have a musical background. You just need to be open to all possibilities and to be trusting yourself, and which is one of the wonderful things about sound Reiki, because it allows you to develop your intuition, get out of your head, trust yourself. But when the people are receiving the tones in a sound Reiki meditation or healing session, it's been amazing how they feel, and everybody's different. Some people feel nothing, which is rare, but it's possible. It still means that the healing is happening. It's just shifting in a different way. But what happens is, all of a sudden, on a cellular, molecular, RNA, DNA, all the senses on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level hear that tone. And they all recognize it, believe it or not, even though you've never sung it before. And what happens is, all of the low vibration, because of the prayer of intention, is saying to release this low vibration energy that could be in the form of illness, depression, unhappiness, just limiting beliefs, or many, many different forms of unhappiness, and to release those that are anchored into low vibration in all levels and aspects of your being. And once that tone is projected, it releases instantly. That's why I love how fast sound moves energy. It is instant. And as I said before, whether somebody's in front of you or whether they are halfway across the world, they're feeling this magical, amazing energy as well. And certainly the effect of it, which is, once the tones are heard, as I say, the person who's hearing you is hearing actually something very different. So I was able to let go of self-judgment a long time ago, and to be able to share with people. It's not passing the microphone for, Canadian karaoke. When we're doing, sound healing, it's actually a very organic process. Can you imagine? And I'm sure everybody has, where you've said a prayer or a wish and then sang a song with it, or made a song into prayer. It's really powerful, and it just takes it to a quantum level. And that's how it affects the tones. Your tone is that you're projecting, because of the prayer of intention, it instantly clears energy, raises the vibration of the person receiving it, and the sense of calmness, relief, the increase in energy, vibration, the increase in happiness, just the increase of taking a breath of fresh air, if you've ever felt constricted, is a way of feeling it. But and also your vibration is up, which means you're now looking above the tree line of limiting beliefs, seeing the truth of what's around you, and being able to feel the level of confidence to be able to look at things differently.
Yeah, and I'm actually proof that you definitely don't need a singing background or need to have a great voice. Because growing up, I was always made fun of that I didn't know how to sing, and I would never do karaoke. I never sang in public, only in the car by myself. Actually, no, I'd be all right. And if I'm completely comfortable with you, where I know you're not running away anywhere if I sang. And in doing sound Reiki, I've had people be amazed, where they're like, oh my God, that was so powerful and beautiful. And I'd be like, what? What are these people talking about? I'm like, I don't know how to sing. And the last session that I had, she was so amazed by the sound and how beautiful it was. She was even crying. So she had even released something. And I was just like, wow. Yeah. And I just, I think of that. And, after learning what you just said, that it's, they hear something different. It makes me actually, feel a little more confident to just be, because I know they're going to hear something totally different.
That's exactly right.
So so like for someone that does not sing, would never sing, I was just like, I get incredible feedback. So they definitely hear something different on the other side.
It's so true. That's awesome.
Another question. So how do we know if our frequency is low?
Oh, yes. Well, believe me, because when you are not feeling happy, anything that's in the opposite of feeling love and bright and happiness and joy and being able to bounce back, from different kinds of emotions or experiences is a true test. When you find, for example, when you're feeling low energy, it's like, oh man, I just feel like I had a good night's sleep, or I've been eating okay, but my energy is still low. So on a physical level, it would be that you are feeling like maybe aches and pains, unusually tired, really for no reason. You might have some brain fog, that you're not feeling, clear thinking. You might also be feeling sad or depressed, or feeling like agitated or edgy, that you're, really not yourself in a way. And oftentimes when we feel that way, we kind of dismiss it, or, oh, we have a scratchy throat. Oh, it must be some cold, I'm just dismissing this. Well, I always believe that everybody is great. That everybody, if you can believe that you are healthy, that you are well, and that anything that is in a disruption of that is to bring your attention to something that you're thinking or feeling that is affecting you physically. Because on an energetic level, when we feel something in the physical body, this is the last place it shows up. So when we think of disease, when we think of depression, when we think of disease of the mind, body, and spirit, there's signs along the way that start to give us some signs to say something's up. But oftentimes, we're in our busy lives, we take things for granted, or, oh, I've always had that pain, or, oh yeah, that's that thing again, or, yeah, I always react in this situation the same way. It will pass. It always does. It's like, okay, no, actually, wouldn't it be great never to feel those things in those situations ever again? because disease happens when we start to see the signs, we start to not be feeling good. And no matter how great we are, no matter how happy and loving and caring we are, sometimes we let things get to us and it affects us, and we snap and we start to change a little bit, and we start to find that things are not moving forward in our physical reality. Sometimes we're working super hard and all of a sudden the energy around us makes us feel like we're taking 2 steps forwards and then 3 steps backwards. It's like, man, not this again. Or, sometimes we start to see, the same kind of patterns of relationships coming in and out of our lives. That's an evidence that your vibration is not at a high frequency, because everything that's happening is a mirror of how you're feeling about yourself. It's, your vibration is like wah, wah, wah out there when you're walking around. So when you're feeling happy, you're sending that happy vibration, and everybody out there is going, ooh, yeah, all of a sudden, you've got people smiling at you back. You know what that is? Because they recognize your vibrational frequency. And then there's other people who, even though they're depressed and would like to be happy, when they're in your happy presence are like, get her out of here. Like, I can't stand it, because they're not willing to raise their vibration. So we know we are at a high vibration when we are feeling in flow, this energy of, I'm happy. And even though there might not be a lot of happy things happening to me right now, I'm happy because I know this too shall pass. I know I live in a supportive universe. I have the evidence around me that I feel good. I'm able to get over things quickly, including colds or symptoms of things like that. Or I'm able to turn things around and take a look at a bigger picture. So when we're happy, when we're feeling love, we're feeling a high vibration of love and light, and that's where we want to be. That's actually who we really are. But when we're at a low vibration, wow. So fear in my belief system is the absence of love. So when we act from a place that has the absence of love, that absence of that light, absence of that beautiful vibration, then we're starting to feel heavier. We know that, that person who you've got in your life that, you sometimes can have these life-sucking conversations with, where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to help you, but oh my gosh, I'm so drained. That's just like you kind of coming down to that low vibration going, oh, Mama Mia, I feel terrible. I got to go and I got to do something happy, man, to get this out. And that's really what happens. And that's why we have to be mindful, about who we surround ourselves with, and also who we are to surround ourselves with other people. We want to be that happy light that is able to change things. But that low vibration, yeah, that's stinking thinking right there. That's information that we're feeding ourselves, that is feeding limiting beliefs and feeding fear. And every minute of every day we have a choice to think something that is positive, or our thoughts will go to something that is fear-based. And our egos love to be in fear. It makes everything a threat. So we know when you're in a low vibration, when you're in a low vibration because you're not feeling good and you're not able to make things happen, and you keep attracting more of the same thing, and you're starting to feel stuck. And so those are some of the ways that you can sense, and it just doesn't change very often. Sometimes, there's a boost a day, a couple of days get good, but then all of a sudden, a few days later, it gets back into the same place. That's a sign that there is something affecting your energy based on a belief, or it could be some other things that are lowering your vibration.
Yeah, and it's one of those where you find that, things just don't seem to go your way, or they're not as flowing. Like things are not as flowing as easier. It's like you're always kind of hitting a wall, kind of hitting walls everywhere. And it is, I really see how it just depends on what part that you choose to feed. Like, is me doing this or thinking this feeding love? Is me doing this, thinking this, feeding fear? And depending on which way it's going, and it's all a choice, right?
Exactly. And that's where we have so much power, because it is a choice. We decide what's going to happen next, because it's going to be dictated on how we feel, and how we feel calibrates that vibration.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot more power than we believe we do. Many feel that they're very powerless and helpless, but the reality is actually that we are extremely powerful. And for the most part, I think people are more scared of actually the power that they really have than what they don't have. It's like there's a fear of really stepping into that power. And I think sometimes it's, just because that makes you also responsible for your own power. You can't give it to someone else or blame someone else for it anymore. It's your own.
That's right. Absolutely. But it's wonderful, and what a magnificent feeling when you can claim it, because everybody wants that power. If you're willing to flag it and not associate it with an identity that you have, there's always going to be somebody who wants that power.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so another thing for our viewers, what can you suggest people do to keep their energy clear and a high vibration frequency?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Actually, what I love to share with people, well, first of all, be as positive. Always look at the bright side. You can look at both sides of the coin, but finish with the bright side and say, okay, yes, this thing, happened. And also take a look at limiting beliefs. Start to take a look at attachments to patterns. Some of the things that can really affect us is our attachment to having certain outcomes. And it's that attachment to outcomes that sometimes can be our greatest undoing. And I think that to keep a high vibration, what we can do, what I like to do is do a little bit of a ritual, during the morning. When you sort of are in a routine of things, your body starts to get calibrated to this really great, happy routine. We have those routines, getting up on Monday, and the way we sometimes think about the week, and then our bodies start to feel that way. Oh yeah, it's Monday. That's my trigger. Okay, this is how I'm going to feel. But when we can wake up in the morning, this is what I love to suggest to people. So how to keep your vibration high. Always know that there must be a bigger picture that you might not be aware of, and try to avoid reacting and going into more of a dialogue before you have challenges that you're facing. The other thing I like to do is to start your day on the right foot. So one of the things I love to share with my coaching clients is and this is also what I do, is that to do 4 magical things when you are starting your day. And for me, it really is starting your day at a high vibration, and then it's up to you to keep it that way based on your thoughts and feelings and intentions. So the first thing that I like to do, of course, is to give gratitude. So I always say, you're waking up, you're not even out of bed yet. I would like to give, gratitude to 10 things, that I am super grateful for. I'm so happy for this. I'm so grateful for this day, this gift of life. I'm so grateful for my connection to Source and the wonderful freedom in my life that I'm privileged to have. I am so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that this day is presenting, and for me to be an open and clear vessel for that. So those are some of the things that I like to do. And let's give, 5 or 6 or 10 things, and let's make them different every day, because there's plenty of things to be grateful for. And the next thing I like to do after I do that is I like to fill myself with a beautiful white golden light. If you can visualize, okay, take it for a moment. Can you visualize a shiny red apple right now?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can visualize a shiny red apple right now, that means you are clairvoyant, which means you are clear seeing, and you are very visual in your mind's eye. So if you are like that, and if you can't see that and you feel things, feel the light of white light filling your body up. From the top of your head, coming in from Source, your soul is now illuminating your physical body, so it's nothing but bright light. And from the inside outside, you are nothing now but a body of white light. And then as you fill yourself with that love light, that's what that is. It's filling yourself with love. It's filling yourself. That's what that light it represents. And then you start to send it out to everybody you're going to be meeting in that day, the people that you know, those beautiful meetings you're going to, the colleagues you're going to be working with, even the people who are driving beside you if you're driving to work, or sitting beside you as you're going to work. To send it to the road, send it to the buildings, send it to the people, send it to everywhere, especially that you know that you're going to be going that day. And that is what will meet you there. The third thing that I like to do is to go into a meditation. And even if it's a meditation that is just very simple, it doesn't have to be complicated or sophisticated. And we have some sound Reiki meditations on the website that people can listen to at soundreiki.com. So, but what it does is it moves you.
The link for the viewers at the bottom of the page. You can find that link. Sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you. And what will happen is when you go into a meditation, and a meditation could be listening to some beautiful music. A meditation could just be focusing on an image that you love, of somebody who you love, or a situation that just gave you so much joy and peace, and sending the movie of all the great things that just have happened to you up until this year, favorite things that happened this year, or even just, feeling like a meditation that just gives you peace, sitting in a peaceful garden, something that is still in your mind. And now in these moments of 10 minutes, 20 minutes max if you have it, but even 5 minutes makes a difference, where you are not thinking of anything. You are just sitting with a clear mind and only focusing and allowing, with that first image, allowing your mind to just drift into a positive place, not thinking about your day, not thinking about anything. You're actually almost like you're dreaming. And being in that meditative state, whatever that is for you, for 5 or 10 minutes, up to 20 minutes if possible, is more the better, is fantastic every day. It's not always possible, but make yourself 5 minutes. So here now, we've given gratitude, we send out love to where we're going, we've taken a meditation that kind of anchors all of that loving feeling that we've just moved ourselves to. And the last thing I like to share with people is to set an intention for your day. And an intention is what it is, what kind of day do you want to have? In other words, what is the outcome that you desire for this day? And state that as your intention. So it could be, for example, it's my intent to be the very best that I can be, and to be open and caring and loving and compassionate to everybody that I'm meeting today. To be communicative, to be bringing joy where I am, and to be being the absolute best that I can be for the greater good of all. And that could be your intention. Or it could be, today, it is my intent to not let anything get to me. It's my intent to maintain a joy of happiness. My intent not to go to a place of anger, because I'm working on it. And it's my intent today for the next, 8 hours or 12 hours to not say anything that is not in alignment to the happy intention that I've just created. So when we state that intention, it's my intent to be in joy and peace and harmony, and to give and receive love today. Or it's my intention to be the best I can be for that meeting that I have, to send love to everybody, that everybody does well. So what we wish for ourselves, we wish for others. But we're allowed to say, this is what I wish for myself today, because that intention will allow you to calibrate your thoughts and feelings and actions and behavior to be in alignment to that intention. So when we say that to ourselves, it's like, okay, every time something's coming out of my mouth today, is it in alignment to that intention that I set? And if it isn't, then maybe it's time for me to reset and step back and say, what is this going to be accomplishing today? Is it taking me on my path, or is it taking me off my path? And I find that those 4 things that are happening every morning, and that whole thing doesn't take very long, but I have found, and even with my coaching clients, when they start their day from this perspective, which is a high vibration perspective, everything that they're attracting, people, places, experiences are only going to reinforce that starting point from where you are. And the only person that can change it is you. By changing your mind that it's not a good day, or changing your mind, forgetting about what your intentions are, and going into a habit that has never really served you.
Yeah, and doing those 4 steps takes maybe 15-20 minutes a day. And to your viewers out there, I mean, seriously, if you tell me you do not have 15-20 minutes a day, it's a full of you know what, because that's not true at all. You may want to take a look at yourself and ask yourself why you're not willing to give yourself 15-20 minutes a day, to better your life, to better how you feel, to better your frequency, everything around you, and even your family. Because the more you increase your frequency, the more you're in a place of love, the more you also affect, without realizing, your family and those that are closest to you, because you will automatically change their frequency or affect their frequency by yours. So it's not only just about your self-love for that day, but for those that you come in contact with that are around you.
That's right.
Thank you, Catherine. This has been awesome.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
Viewers, we are going to have lots of links at the bottom for your website, your social links. Sound Reiki. You have a Sound Reiki starting online as well?
Yes, I'm so excited about that. We're having Sound Reiki Level One because Sound Reiki certification, if you'd like to learn how to use your voice to heal for yourself or for others, we have certification program from Level One right through to Masters. And we're so thrilled for the first time in 12 years to be announcing an online program, Sound Reiki Level One, that is going to be released in January 2019. And you can sign up for on our newsletter at our website to hear more about that launch that's coming, where you can learn Sound Reiki, you can learn how your voice is healing and the techniques that go along with that right from the comfort of your own home.
Awesome. So we're going to include a link for that. We're going to include a link for the book, the meditation, your social links, your website. Anything else you want to share?
Well, just for everybody to be really super open and to be willing to see things differently. You know, we're living in a time of great change. And I want to let everybody know that you are enough to fulfill your dreams. The only person who needs to believe that is you. And raising your vibration and staying in a positive light, you do for yourself and in turn for the greater good of others. It starts with you. So happy healing to everybody and looking forward to you tuning in.
Thank you, Catherine. It was awesome having you on. You're absolutely amazing. Love your vibration. Just even being in your presence is absolutely awesome. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this for my viewers. To you viewers out there, I definitely know you got something out of this, most definitely. Please contact us with any comments if you have any questions or anything about this. And I know you have 15, 20 minutes to your day, so chop, chop, let's get started.
Awesome.
Have a great day, everyone. See you, Catherine.
Thank you.